This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, I want to welcome you on our webinar from the DigiFoF webinar series. Today, our topic will be RPA, Robotic Process Automation, possibilities of practical applications, and our presenter will be Julia Siderska from Białystok University of Technology. As usual, I'm your host. Our presenter, our speaker will be Julia Siderska, PhD from Białystok. And before I pass the presenter right to her, just a few words about technical aspects. So as in the case of previous webinars, we would like to ask you to mute your microphones. So if you have the green icon of microphone, please mute it to make sure that there are no interferences with others. If you have any questions, please expand the GoToMeeting tab and use the questions or chat functionality to let us know. And at the very end, we'll have Q&A part. And now, without further ado, I want to show you the agenda, but the agenda and all the rest will be presented by Julia. So, Julia, I'm giving you presenter right, and
Okay.
floor is yours.
Is it okay now?
Looks perfect.
Thank you. So good afternoon. My name is Julia Siderska. I represent Białystok University of Technology, and I'm a member of DigiFoF project team at our university. The purpose of today's presentation is to discuss the assumptions and some application possibilities of the robotic process automation technology, and to present an example of robotization of a sample process in the UiPath environment. First, I will introduce the fundamental elements of OMILab node in Białystok, just to emphasize the role of RPA software there. Then I present some basic information regarding RPA technology. I mean, its definition, main features, possibilities of applications, and so on. I will also introduce UiPath company very briefly, of course. Then I will try to discuss our today's example, I mean business case study, and I will present the possibility of using UiPath software to automate the process of data extracting. The OMI lab for Factory of the Futures are physical and virtual spaces which are equipped with methods and tools which provide the students with an environment where they can experiment with factory of the futures design from an integrated systems engineering perspective. According to the concept of OMILab, it provides specific functionalities for comprehensive approach to factory of the future design by synchronizing and using 3 layers. First layer is design thinking for strategic solution, and we have here business model canvas, scene to model, scenarios, and storytelling. Then the second layer is a conceptual modeling for process designing and analysis, ADOXX, BIAP, and Adonis. And finally, the layer number 3, cyber physical systems, which execute the models designed on layer on second layer. Cyber physical systems are software systems embedded in OMILab infrastructure, like robots and robotic process automation software as well. So considering RPA's role in process digitization, today's webinar will focus on demonstrating how RPA technology can be used to automate processes. Digital transformation, as we know, is one of the headline targets in the European Union's political guidelines. There is more and more talk about the automation of work and business processes. And one of such technologies supporting work and automating operational activities is robotic process automation. Among the 10 strategic technology trends, Gartner listed hyper-automation, which includes the automation of everything that can be automated. So currently, most organizations perform simple task automation with the use of RPA technology, but we are moving towards whole processes robotization. So robotic process automation should be considered as one of the digital transformation technologies supporting companies in robotizing repeatable and routine tasks. Just like other advanced solutions, RPA enables higher efficiency. Because by programming autonomous software robots, we to replicate basic processes, it merges software, it merges artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities to automate manual tasks that are normally operated by humans. So a software robot, actually an algorithm, performs time-consuming, simple, but rule-based activities in a graphical user interface. Increasingly, they are equipped with AI elements and cognitive algorithms and work without human supervision. Robotization allows to use resources efficiently, achieve optimization value, and protect processes against human errors. And it should be underlined that RPA is not only a fashion or a temporary trend. It's primarily a natural evolution. Since 20 years ago, we had Visual Basic macros, then Six Sigma and Lean Management, and now it's time for another level, another step in this revolution. We have RPA. So in many organizations, robotization has become a natural consequence of the process model, in which not many people are willing to perform duplicate activities. RPA is a response to a process need, process maturity. The value of RPA market has been growing dynamically for 2 years. It's the biggest segment of the software industry nowadays globally. This is due to the fact that companies have a large number of data sets owing to their digital transformation. A very large number of processes, of documents. So RPA is a solution for many problems such as lack of staff, the motivation of employees performing repetitive activities, low core efficiency. These solutions are quick and low cost. These trends increase the demand for specialists, not IT specialists, who will have the skills to optimize business processes with the use of modern IT technologies. So RPA can automate rules-based processes that involve routine tasks, structured data, and deterministic outcomes. The implementation of robotization is possible wherever there is a schematic process. RPA robots are often used in the process of invoicing, searching for data from websites or databases, or sending, receiving emails, creating reports, entering orders, setting payments, sending communication, reporting, etc. So far, RPA robots have been most often implemented in the service sector. I mean, in banks, financial institutions, e-commerce shops, or marketing stores. But more and more often, this technology is also implemented in industry, in logistics, and in energy, I mean, utilities sector. There are several different types of business process robotization systems. Attended robots, so requiring human supervision, and unattended. They work autonomously. Next one is orchestration, what mean workflow management platforms that can be used to manage the implemented robots. Then cognitive process automation, and it is related to another category, I mean RPA tools and solutions that use artificial intelligence technologies such as optical character recognition or text analysis or machine learning. And finally, known for quite a long time, because they are the simplest tools, I mean chatbots, voice bots, task bots. The global leader dealing with providing software for the automation of robotic processes is UiPath. The company was founded in 2005 in Romania. And after 15 years, so last year, UiPath was named the top tech company and #2 overall in the Financial Times ranking of the America's fastest growing companies. One of the flag products is UiPath Studio, which is a tool that can model an organization's business processes in a visual way. The resulting automation projects can then be sent to robots for execution. UiPath Studio encapsulates both simple and complex solutions for application integration and automating third-party application, administrative IT tasks, and business IT processes. So I'm going to present an example of robot elaborated in UiPath Studio, which automates the process of data extracting from eBay. So now I want to briefly explain the hypothetical business case study. Let's imagine that enterprises operating in the e-commerce sector need some tools to monitor information about the price offers of competing companies. It's a very dynamically developing sector, especially in pandemic situation, and that's why it's a subject to seasonal fluctuations and situations. Therefore, prices for individual products change very often. Let's check, what should be done manually when the company wants to check the prices of some products. Let's take eBay as an example. So we should open, if we execute the process manually, we should open the browser on the website ebay.com. Then we have to type the name, for example, keyboard of the product into the search engine. Then we have to click search button. Then we can click best match button, and for example select the price plus shipping lowest first option from the drop down list, because I want all records to be displayed in order from the cheapest to the most expensive, taking into account the total cost of the product and its shipment. Now we have all records, and we can imagine that extracting data relating to each auction, each product, one by one is very time consuming. It's very irritating or tedious. Yeah, so we want to take, for example, from each record, we want to take the price of the product, we want to take the title of the auction, and we want to take, for example, the link to the to this auction. Yeah. So many employees whose duties, there are many employees whose duties include such repetitive tasks. They do it every day. The use of RPA technology allows to obtain in few seconds data from online auctions. It's so-called data extraction regarding, for example, the price of such competing goods, the link to the auction, and so on. So let's move to UiPath Studio environment, and I want to show you this software. So the presented robot searches the resources of the eBay, finds the first 50 advertisement for few products in the following categories: mountain bike, soundbar, monitor, and keyboard. So the robot saves information about those products to Excel files. I mean the information I mentioned before, so the auction title, the auction website address, and the product price in 3 separate columns. And I will show you how it was the whole process I did manually a few minutes ago, how was mapped step by step using this toolbox. And we have to do this in the same way as we did it manually. So the robot executes the following activities step by step. So here on the left side, we have our toolbox, and there are so many activities that can we choose that map our activities into digital process. Yeah. So first step is that robot reads the products file prepared in Excel. And I'm going to show you this file because I want to find the information about 4 products, as I mentioned: mountain bike, soundbar, monitor, and keyboard. Of course, I can type manually the name of them into the eBay search engine, but we can imagine that if we have hundreds of products, it will take too much time to do it manually. So I have prepared the product file in Excel list with this list in Excel. In this, so we have the activity read range, and can I minimize it? Because here at the right side.
Yes, you can click with the icon with 2 arrows, and then it will collapse the GoToMeeting pane. or you can drag it to have it, for example, on the left side.
So, okay. Do you see my right side of the
Yes.
software? Yeah. So, if I read all those products from the Excel files, I have to assign a variable on the output, and this variable will consist of the table including such products, and on the output I assign a variable which is a type of data table, and I call this variable DT products from data table products. So if we execute the process manually, we have to open the eBay browser. So now we map the same activity, and we have the open browser step. And I always choose Chrome browser because it's very stable, do not cause us any bugs. So I entered the website, ebay.com. Then, if I have the table, DT products table with all those 4 products, I have to use the loop to get the product names from this table. So the robot then enters the name of each of those products into the search engine. So first of all, the loop for each row. So from each row, it takes the name of the product, and then I have the activity, which is called in UiPath software type into. So I'm entering the name of each of those products into the search engine, and I manually had to click on search button. So I do it the same here. So I have the activity dedicated to this process. So I click on search button. Next, I have the activity that clicks the best match button, and finally, the activity that clicks the price plus shipping lowest first option from the drop-down list. So that's why the records should be displayed from the cheapest. Then it's time for data scrapping in our digital process. So the robot then can extract data from the first 50 records it found. So I have the activity data scrapping. And what should be done in this data scrapping? First of all, the following information about these products should be extracted. The title of the auction, the website address of the auction, and the price of the products. So it is saved. I mentioned here that maximum number of results is 50 on the right side, and it is saved to a new assigned by me variable on the output, and the variable is data table type, and the name of the variable that includes all those extracted information is extract data table. Then robot filters the data with the activity filter data table by deleting the rows which in columns 1 have no value entered. So it's the activity filter data table, because the auction names sometimes differ, sometimes have some missing information. That's why I delete the rows with no value. Next, with the activity right range, 4 separate different Excel files are created, separate file for each product, in which this extracted data is saved. So the activity is called right range, and I'm asking here the robot to take the name of the product from each row and create an Excel file called with this name separately for each product. So now the robot is doing whole process by itself. So the robot treats the name as a number, the name of the product as a number. That is why I change here the type of this variable to a string, just to have not number, but just to have words. So let's now check the execution of this process and how it works. So now the robot is doing the whole process by itself. I'm not clicking anything. So I'm just closing the browser because I want a robot to open it by itself and to show the bug file and run. Oh, sorry, what's the bug here? Once again. Exception. So once again, I will close the environment, okay?
Perhaps it is a problem because you have this Excel opened.
Maybe I will close it, okay. Maybe I forgot about it. Yeah, so eBay.com was opened, mountain bike was typed into the search engine. Yeah, price shipping. Another is soundbar, best match, price and shipping. Another product was our monitor, price, shipping, search, and the last one was keyboard. Yeah, and let's check it now. Yes, the robot created 4 separate Excel files with those extracted data relating to each product. Let's check, for example, keyboard. We have 3 separate columns, as I asked my robots, and we have the name of the auction, the link to this auction, and the price of the first keyboard, and we have 50 records here as I wanted. So of course it's a simple example of robot execution, and it was an example of only of data extracting, but it's, in my opinion, it's a very useful skill. With my students of logistics especially, I also build such robots to, for example, to log into SAP software and fill the records related to our clients, providers, or we create robots that can communicate. I mean, write emails or save files or create invoices on the basis of data gathered in Excel files, for example. So a lot of possibilities of practical implementation, especially during pandemic situation, when, for example, the financial institutions deal with too many electronic documents. For example, they have many requests, I mean, applications for prolong of payment or loan installment repayments. So the robot receives the email, read it, save attachment, and try to reply the email, yeah, and decide, for example, whether the payment can be prolonged for that client, for example, of the bank. So that's it. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
So if you have questions, please, I see questions. So maybe let me read it. How does the approach of RPA relate to and provide value to conceptual models or design techniques? Could it be an alternative to classical design techniques such as manual modeling, and specifically on domain-specific level? So this is one question I have. And the second question is, why did you pick UiPath and not, for example, Automation Anywhere or Blue Prism or WorkFusion or any others? So those are the two questions we have.
Trying to answer the second question, I would say that UiPath software is a global leader in dealing in providing such solutions to business, and so I wanted to exercise with my students using the software which will be the most often implemented in companies. And the second argument is that they allowed me to disseminate the software without any fees. It was really important for me during the pandemic times, because of course we had this software installed in our OMELab laboratory at our university, but during the pandemic I wanted students to have the access to this software from their homes, yeah, from their own desktops. So that was the main reasons. And could you please repeat, or can I read the first questions, because it was complicated and structured?
Okay, I have a follow-up question to your answer. I got a question as a private one, so I will just read it. Is the software open source?
Sorry?
I think I can answer. So UiPath is, as far as I know, not open source. This is
No, it's
available as the
commercial.
community,
Yeah, it's
but
commercial.
this is proprietary software.
Yeah, but
And
for educational purpose, I received it for free.
Okay, thanks.
Right.
And the first question
Maybe I can repeat it. Is that okay? Can I speak?
Okay.
Is that
Sure.
fine?
Sure.
That's because I asked the question. I wasn't sure about the format, because I thought, thank you for the great presentation. What I had in mind, Julia, when I saw what you have done is, would it be possible that we position this kind of robotic process automation also as a design procedure? What I had in mind is that we define somehow the structure that you're showing on the screen now, and we can trigger, for example, that as an outcome we get then B-up models, not Excel sheets, but B-up models. Just as a crazy idea, because I thought it's great what you have shown to us, but would that be possible? Could you imagine something like that? And if yes, how would that require domain-specific adaptation?
I do not have many experience in this area, just to combining with another software, but I don't know exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you have any more questions, let us know. I don't see any more questions. So I would like to thank you very much for participating, give great thanks to Julia for a very, very interesting presentation, and invite you for our next webinar from the DigiFoF series. I think is there a question, Arek? Do you want to ask some question?
No, thank you very much for presentation. It should be mentioned that this RPA software is a part of our process labs on our faculty. We try to integrate some solutions to model the process and to automate the process. So this is only short comments from me.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you.
Okay, no more questions coming, so thank you all, and have a great holidays. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.